Sai Ram, my dear students. In the previous session, in the lesson Christianity and Islam, we discussed Semitic religions and the religions which originated before contemporary era and during the contemporary era, and we discussed that. Then what is the meaning of religion and what is the meaning of dharma? See, both we discussed, and what does it mean and what dharma means. What is the meaning of dharma in Indian context? What is the meaning of religion in Indian context? That when all were discussed. Later, one of the prominent religions of this world is Christianity, that we discussed, who is the founder and his early life, his parents. These questions, these topics were discussed in the previous session. Dear students, today we are moving to see the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ preached about God in simple language, simple words, simple terms. He traveled across Palestine region between his 30 years and 33 years of age. He traveled across the Palestine between the age of 30 to 33 years, and with these preachings he laid foundation for peace and compassion. Today we are going to see the teachings of Jesus Christ. Teachings of Jesus Christ. See, he traveled across Palestine and he contacted the people and counseled the people and he preached. With these preachings he laid foundation for peace and compassion. Peace and compassion. See, in that way he touched the hearts of common people. He wanted to establish peace and compassion in human society. Now let us see his preachings are. He says, God is one. God is one. He is most merciful. He is the creator of entire world, entire creation. See, God is one. You may call it, but even today, Indian context also, Indian religious belief also telling the same. There is only one God, the God is love. Here also the same version pronounced by Jesus Christ, there is one God, He is most merciful. And He is the creator of this creation. He is the creator of this entire universe. This is the first point. The second point is everyone should develop brotherhood. First one is the God is one. God is one. He is merciful. He is the creator. He is the creator of entire creation. Everyone should develop brotherhood. Brotherhood. See, today, due to this misunderstanding among the people, among the community, there are so many riots are occurring across the world. But if we develop brotherhood, there is no chance to these riots. Third one is loving the people in distress is equal to worshipping God. See, third point is loving the people in distress. The same word pronounced by Swami Vivekananda, Daridra Narayana Devo Bhava. See, serve the people. The same thing is told as Manava Seva, Madhava Seva. Here also, the loving the people in distress is equal to worshipping God. Then one should serve the others without expecting anything from them. If you expect anything from them, you won't get credit from God. See, if you serve the people, everything will be counted. in God's account. Here one should serve others without expecting anything from them. Then fifth point, serving people is equal to worshipping of God. Once again I stress the same point. Manava Seva, Madhava Seva. The serving man is equal to serving God. The serving man is equal to serving Madhava. And if one repents for his mistakes, God will forgive him. In the first word only we come to know that God is merciful. He won't take revenge against man because he is the creator of human being. He is the creator of entire creation. Here he is the creator of each and every living beings. Each and every living beings are created by God. Then why God will take revenge? He will never take revenge. He is merciful. He is merciful. Here also, if one repents for his mistake, repents, now paschatapa patre, namma tappugalige paschatapa patre. That means if one repents for his mistakes, God will forgive him. ದೇವರು ಅವನನ್ನು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. God will forgive. Then another important thing, love your enemy. Seventh point is love your enemy. See, the same word is love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. ನಿನ್ನ ನೆರೆಹೊರೆಯವರನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸು, ನಿನ್ನ ವಿರೋಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸು. ಲವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎನಿಮಿ. ಡೂ ಗುಡ್ ಟು ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಯು. ಸಿ, ಯು ಡೂ ಗುಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಯು. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಲವ್ ಯು. See, what a beautiful teachings taught by Jesus Christ. See, love your enemy. Do good to the people who try to harm you. That means love all, serve all. Love all, serve all. What a beautiful teachings. And my question is, what are the teachings of Jesus Christ? Note down that. Today's first question, note down them in your notebook as well as worksheet. What are the teachings of Jesus Christ? Teachings. Now let us see, this is all about Jesus Christ taught his and preached his teachings. Now we are going to see how Christianity is spread across the world. It born in Middle East. Today more than 100 countries following Jesus Christ religion, Christianity. That means Christianity. When he was alive, Jesus Christ entrusted the responsibility of spreading his teaching and helping the people in distress to his 12 prominent disciples. Who are called disciples? They are called apostles. His prominent 12 disciples are called 12 disciples are called apostles. Apostles. Who are the prominent apostles? Bartholomew, Thomas, Philip, Andrew, James the Great, James, brother of Jesus Christ, James the Less, and Paul, Simon, Judah, John Baptist. Once he baptized Jesus Christ, they're all the prominent 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. Apostles means what? Apostles means the staunch followers of Jesus Christ are called apostles. 12 Disciple, prominent 12 disciples are called apostles. Another question, second question is, what are the responsibilities? What are the responsibilities entrusted to apostles? Answer: Jesus Christ entrusted the responsibility of spreading his teachings and helping the people in distress. This is the responsibility he entrusted to, his 12 apostles. I pronounced the 12 names once again: Bartholomew, Judah, Matthew, Philip, Thomas, James the Great, James Less, James, brother of Jesus Christ, then John Baptist, and Paul, Simon are the prominent apostles. And most important among them was Saint Peter. Saint Peter, he went to Rome and established a church and sent missionaries all over the world to spread the messages and gospels of Jesus Christ. What do you mean by gospel? Gospel. In Kannada it is called Suvarte. Suvarte. What do you mean by gospel? The godly words are called gospel. The words of messenger, the words of God are called gospel. He went to Rome and established a church. Third question, was the prominent, was important apostle? Third question, Saint Peter. Which was who established church at Rome? Fourth question, who established church at Rome? Fifth question. How did Saint Peter spread the gospels of Jesus Christ? How did Saint Peter spread the gospels of Jesus Christ? Today, you know that the church which was established by Saint Peter in Rome became the most important religious center for the Catholics of the world. It is one of the prominent Catholic church. In the beginning, Roman emperors did not disturb when they were propagating Christianity, when they were promoting the Christianity. The Roman emperors did not bother and they did not disturb. Thus it spread all over the Roman Empire very fast. But after the first century, Roman emperors started persecuting the missionaries. What do you mean by persecute? Ill treatment, especially because of their race or political or religious beliefs. Persecuting. Ill treatment. Persecuting means ill treatment. But after the first century, Roman empires started persecuting the missionaries. There are so many, the organizations which was created by Christian groups to spread Jesus Christ's mission, messages, that is called missionary. Today you can see one of such missionaries even in India, Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission, mission which is carrying the ideas of Sanatana Dharma and spreading the ideas of Sanatana Dharma, Ramakrishna Mission. And it is spreading the ideas and beliefs of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Mission was established by Swami Vivekananda. See, that is mission. Here also these missionaries were started to spread the ideas and messages and teachings and preachings of Jesus Christ. There are so many Benedictine, Franciscan societies, Carmelites, these are all the missionaries. Carmelites, Benedictine society. There are so many societies were there. These are all the missionaries, Christian, Roman Catholic missionaries. And though many obstacles were created in spreading the word of Jesus, many obstacles, hindrances they faced while spreading the Christianity across the world. But the preachers, the apostles did not withdraw their effort. Just imagine. They were such a staunch followers of Jesus Christ. They had contact. They physically saw Jesus Christ. They had experience with Jesus Christ. Most of their time spent with Jesus Christ. They experienced His majestic experiences. They saw from the close eye. They saw Jesus from the close eye and experienced His love. So they started to preach His ideas, but they did not withdraw. The preachers of Christianity continued their work unhindered. Later, in 4th century, Constantine, one of the rulers, Constantine, who? Constantine. Constantine accepted Christianity as the national religion he accepted. His state religion was Christianity. Which is the state religion of India? Could you answer? No, there is no state religion for India because India is secular country. But Constantine accepted Christianity as his state religion, national religion in the year 313 contemporary era. But in India, there is no authorized state religion or national religion because India is secular country. But do you know which is the state religion of Pakistan? That you know. Since then, it got the support of the state and spread into Rome, Greece, Macedonia and Asia Minor region. When he accepted it as state religion, gradually people started to accept Christianity. Then it spread to Greece, Macedonia and Asia Minor region, even Rome. Okay. Then even they started to conversions carried out by Roman Church, and missionaries are responsible for the expansion of Christianity. Today you know that Christianity has a number of followers across the world. But what is the reason for this? The missionaries started to convert the people to Christianity. That is also one of the reasons for the highest faith of Christianity. Then the holy book of Christianity is Bible. This contains Old Testament and New Testament. See, the Old Testament is holy words to Judaism, Islam and Christian. Okay. Who was the ruler accepted the Christianity as their state religion? Sixth question is, who was the ruler accepted the Christianity as their state religion or national religion? Which is the holy book of Christianity? Which is the holy book of Christianity? The holy book of Christianity is Bible. Now let us see. After the birth of this Christianity, they have given a lot of contribution to this society. Today we are going to see the contributions of Christianity. The contributions of Christianity. Which are the contributions? What are the contributions of the Christianity to this society, to this world? Could you mention? Okay, now let us see. Christianity has taught the noble principles of peace and brotherhood to the world. See, peace. See, the ultimate aim, and ultimate aim of religion is peace. And primary aim of religion is also peace. This wonderful philosophy given to the world, peace and brotherhood to the world. Then the education centers were started by the churches. Today you know that even in India, so many education societies are started by Christian missionaries, and they spread the knowledge. And they have played significant role in the growth of education. Christianity has introduced Gothic style architecture. See, in the previous class you might have understood and you might have studied Dravidian style of architecture. See, Pandyas, Cholas, they followed the Dravidian style of. Then Mughals, Indo-Islamic styles. Then even Vijayanagara rulers, they followed Dravidian styles. This is the architectural styles. But Christianity has introduced Gothic style architecture. Almost all the churches were created on that basis only, Gothic style. Missionaries have extended health service all over the world. See, they not only started the educational system but also started healthcare sector, healthcare units. Thus, they extended health services all over the world. Women and weaker sections have been largely benefited by education. See, for many years, women denied education. Women are denied education. For many years, poor classes denied education. For many years, oppressed classes denied education. But when Christian missionaries started these educational institutions, these women section, depressed sections are able to get education across the world. This is the contributions of Christianity. What are the contributions of Christianity? Question, note down. Christianity has taught the principles of peace and brotherhood to the world, and education centers were established by the churches. Christianity introduced Gothic styles architecture. Missionaries have extended health service all over the world. Women and weaker sections have been benefited by the education. These are all the contributions of Christianity. Now we are going to see sects in Christianity. Panthagalu, in Kannada it is called Pantha. Sects in Christianity. Which are the sects which found in Christianity? Now let us see. Christianity, which was in control of Roman Catholics till 16th century. See, it was started in the 1st century CE, but till 16th century it was under the control of Roman Catholics. But there was a breach, there was a break or breach, means branched off into two various sects during the 16th century. Christianity slowly went beyond the reach of common people and principles of Jesus Christ. What does it mean? See, during the Middle Ages, there were illegal activities, immoral activities crept into the church. Common people could not get justice from the church. So many things which happened in the church were against to the Bible. Against to the Bible. This was responsible for the branched off into various sects. This was responsible for the sects in Christianity. And churches were dominated by priests and landlords. People opposed such religious ill practices. In such a situation, Martin Luther started Reformation movement in Germany. A theologist called, a church theologist means one who acquainted knowledge in religious ideas, is called theologist. Here Martin Luther, a priest at a German church, he revolted against the ill practices of the churches. He became the reformer. He became the reformer. Then he started new sect called Protestant. The people who protested against the Catholic Church are called Protestants. Then a new sect emerged in Europe. With these two sects emerged in Christianity. They are known as Catholics and Protestants. Which are the two sects? Which are the two sects in Christianity? The two sects in Christianity are Catholics and Protestant. Who started Reformation movement in Christianity? The Reformation movement started by Martin Luther. Okay. Then various nations of Europe established colonies across the world. You know that India is one such colony of British and one such colony of French. Thus they spread Christianity across the world. And even geographical discoveries helped them to spread Christianity. This all emerged as strong political forces also. You know that. In order to ensure their continuation of authority, they also support Christianity. Once again, various nations of Europe established colonies in various parts of the world with the help of geographical discoveries. They slowly emerged as strong political forces, these Europeans. In order to ensure their continuation in the power, the continuation in the authority, they also supported Christianity. These developments resulted in the growth of Christianity in India and various other countries of the world. Okay, what is the result? What is the reason? What is the reason for the development of Christianity in India? What is the reason for the development of Christianity in India? Dear children, this is all about Jesus Christ and Christianity. Today we discussed all these topics. I hope you understood this lesson. Please go through the textbook, read thoroughly and try to answer my questions what I asked and try to answer them in your workbook and notebook and send the workbook every week via courier. The local students can be sent through their parents. I hope you are enjoying the studies, you are enjoying the work and the academic matters. Sai Ram one and all. Thank you.